Welcome to the Wager Makers Podcast with Webb and Smitt.
Brick by brick, baby. I'm freaking out, Webb.
I was told there'd be no man. Stupidity's going to be an asset. What a bunch of crybabies.
Hello, my name is Steve Smith, and this is Rob Weber. Say hey, Webb.
Hello. What's up, Smitt?
I'm Smitt, that's Webb, and we are the Wager Makers, and this is the Wager Maker Podcast. This is Wager Maker Podcast number 15. I can't believe it's been that many podcasts so far. The NFL season is moving right along. We got MLB playoffs coming up, NBA coming up. Webb, we got a new subscription now. We're now officially on TuneIn Radio, so you can hear us now on TuneIn Radio. That goes in addition to iHeartRadio, YouTube, Google Play Music, Podbean, Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. So if you guys want to listen to us, there's plenty of places to listen to us. How's things going this week, Webb?
Pretty good, man. We're everywhere and anywhere, so please listen. Big week this week, Smith. Big week.
You know what the week this is, Webb. We go way back, Webb.
We go
way back.
You know.
We go way back. We're boys, but this week is rough. We haven't even talked this much
different.
This week.
That's right. It's a cold front. Came in.
Oh, the fucking Saints need this win, dude. The Saints need this win. The power of the dome. We need the power of the dome to take over.
How's the power of the dome going to take over when half of you guys are Cowboy fans? I saw something today. Half of you guys, half the stadium's going to be Cowboy fans.
Man, let me tell you something.
How's that going to work?
That America's team shit is over with, brother. The American team shit is over with. The Saints are America's team. People hate the fucking Cowboys. Hate them.
The Saints are America's ticket scalpers, obviously. Everyone's going to be everyone's going to be on the stars. It's going to be blue and gray. Everybody's going to be wearing stars. How can he not? Captain America, Roger Staubach, was on the Dallas Cowboys. So that's fucking America's team. That goes right down with hot dogs and fucking apple pie, brother.
Dude, maybe for old men like us, we got like millennials listening to this shit.
They don't even watch
Dallas Cowboys haven't been good since we were kids in the cradle.
That don't matter. That's not true. Anyways, first of all, that don't matter. That's not true. Anyways, I wasn't in the cradle in the 90s. I'm too old for that.
90s. We were fucking 30 something. How old were we?
You want to go back?
I don't even know.
You want to go back? You guys will be wearing. Come Monday morning, you guys will be wearing bags over your heads again.
Shit.
It's lucky. It's a good thing. It's a good thing that the world has gone green with these millennials. So I'd send you a bag. You wear a bag around.
Listen, man. Let me tell you something. I don't care. Every game at the Saints in the Dome, there's a few fans from out of town. Because New Orleans is the best fucking place to see a game. Problem is, dudes that come from out of town, they come here to usually see their ass kicked. That's what happens, and that's going to happen to Cowboys this week.
Didn't happen last year.
Yeah, that was a mistake. That wasn't in the Dome either. That wasn't in the Dome either, buddy. Not in the
Where
Dome.
was it?
That was at your house.
Oh, was it?
It was. Remember, we were in the Jester in Freehold watching the game, but that was in your house. That was in your house.
Yeah. That was an ugly one.
Sorry, yes. Man, the power of the Dome, Webb, you don't understand. I don't think you understand. What the power of the Dome.
I've been there.
You know, everybody knows about. I'm going to list a couple games that are just mind-boggling for the power of the Dome, just so you know. And this is what your boys are walking into this week.
How many referees are going to be? What's going to be more Cowboy jerseys or referee jerseys in there this week?
It's all Saints, bro. We're back on top. Listen, thanks to me last week and my pep talk, we're all back on the same page again.
Yeah,
things are right in that Who Dat Nation.
First bad call. I'm going to run some billboards down there and say it's for my lawyer. I'm going to make some money because he'll be suing me.
You guys are walking into a buzzsaw this week, brother.
We're
back on track. The Saints are back on track. Dak, Zeke, them just haven't played anybody. The Dolphins, wow, that's a fucking tough win. They almost got beat. The Redskins.
Oh yeah, by 25.
Has teams they've played beat anybody?
Giants are if you go around here, Giants win the Super Bowl next year.
That's your argument. The Giants they won't. Okay, so a combined one win.
Yeah,
your teams have a combined one win.
How many? Okay, so what does that mean?
So they suck. That's what I'm saying. They're 3-0 suck. They're a sucky 3-0.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take a sucky 3-0 versus. So what are you?
We're 2-1. We're 2-1. Got an injury, a couple setbacks. I'll
switch with you.
One setback against the Rams. We lost to the Rams on the road. Nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that. When was the last time your boys went up to Seattle with a backup quarterback and won? I don't think ever. Okay. Romo can't even hold for an extra point. That's what I remember. In Seattle.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Yeah.
Power to the Dome, Webb. The power to the Dome. September 25th, 2006. I'm going to run down a couple games for you.
2006?
We're going way back. I'm going to go back further than this, too. Watch out.
Right.
September 25th, 2006. 13 years ago this week, Steve Gleason blocked the punt in the Superdome. You were there.
Was there.
You were there.
That wasn't against the Cowboys.
It wasn't against Cowboys. I'm talking about the power of the Dome here, Webb. It's all going to tie in. Listen, it's all going to tie in the end. There's a method to my madness here. I'm trying to build this for you.
Yeah. Don't do me any favors.
Right. Back in the Dome after Karina. Greatest day of my life. I tell my wife that, she gets upset, but she was there with me, so I'm like, it's okay, you were there. If you weren't there with me, then you could be upset that I say it's my greatest day of my life. I drove past that dome. Sharon was there, yeah. You were sitting in them Garjul fucking shit seats.
I was in
I was down there by the field. Me and Bono were hanging out. Me and Bono and Green Day were hanging out.
I'm Benson.
Yeah, back in the dome. Greatest day of my life. I laughed, I cried, everything. Kicked the Falcons' ass.
That was a good game. I'll give you that
too.
one.
And Green Day. The Saints are coming. Getting fired up now. Leeson blocked the punt. 2-2-0 teams, Webb. Nobody could win that day. It was 23-3. Nobody could beat the Saints that day. 23-3.
That was a final score?
Final score. 23-3.
Wow.
We're going to go. I got another one for you. November 30th, 2009. Monday Night Football in the Dome. The big bad New England Patriots. I know they're not the Cowboys. Hang with me here for a second. We're getting us up. November 30th, 2009, the big bad Patriots come to town. Drew Brees throws 18 for 23, 371 yards. They beat the fucking Patriots 38-17, and the Pats threw in the towel with 5 minutes left and sat Tom Brady and sat the rest of the starting lineup. 5 minutes left in the game. That's the Dome.
Okay.
That's the Dome. 2003, Webb.
What does that mean? How'd they do that year?
Look, man, I'm talking about games in the Dome. That's what I'm talking. We're not talking about. That's what I'm talking. I'm talking about the power of the Dome, because I'm going to get to the one with the Cowboys in a little while. You see, I'm tying this in.
When the one where we beat you, when you guys were talking shit, you were going to go 16-0?
No, way before that, dude. I told you I'm going back. I'm going archives. Okay, I got one more. The Giants, 2003. Jim Smiley comes to town, thinks he's going to watch his Giants beat up on the fucking Saints.
Well,
I don't think so, my friend.
That's his own stupidity.
Jim Haslett.
No offense.
You might want to remember Joe Horn and the cell phone incident.
That one.
2003 Monday Night Football against the Giants. You want to know the final score of that game? 45-7.
45-7.
I'm doing my homework.
Well, that's the Giants. That was the Giants.
I'm doing my homework here. Okay, so far we got the Falcons at 2-0. We got the Patriots and the Giants. Back when the Giants were good then.
Can I give you a date? How about January 20th, 2018? How about that for a date?
What's that? I don't know that date.
That never happened. That was the Rams game. That's when you were crying that day. When you and all your other Saints fans with their ref jerseys on.
That was a bad day. The refs got us on that.
Of course, it's conspiracy. There's a man there's a third shooter on the grassy knoll.
Just like when your boy last year takes out Kamara with the head-to-head hit. That was fucking bullshit, bro.
What happened?
Oh, you got a targeting last year, but didn't get called on that game. We were watching at the Court Jesse. You probably don't remember because we got drunk.
No, I don't remember that. But it was.
You don't remember that. There was all kinds of cheap shots going on in Dallas last year.
Dude, everything's against the Saints. Why would the Saints get a call? All
right, here's the final, Webb. You ready for this? I told you I'm going back. I'm going way back, and you're not even going to know about this game. Sunday, December 6th, 1998. 1998. A young 20-something Steve Smitt goes to his first Saints game.
Wow.
I still had only been in New Orleans for a couple years. Well, my first Saints game, 1998. I don't know if people out there know, you know this. I grew up a Steelers fan.
Yeah, I know.
Big time Steelers fan. That was before my conversion. Before I made my conversion.
Garfield's an Eagles fan. You guys ain't really Saints fans.
What the fuck, dude? You're Cowboys. You Cowboy. What the fuck does that mean?
Always and forever.
Cowboys fucking
one
suck
team
since day one.
That's right.
No, they suck since day one. You missed.
All right, yeah. 5 Super Bowls.
Okay, Sunday, December 6th. Mike Ditka, 1998.
Did he wear the fucking stupid Rasta hat?
A young Steve Smitt goes to the Superdome with his Greg Lloyd jersey on, number 95 for the Steelers. People were making fun of me. The wrong game, buddy. You're at the wrong game.
Kerry
Vodka Collins at quarterback for the New Orleans Saints with Mike Ditka.
Very well.
But it was the old days, right? You had Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith.
Oh, that was the game?
That was the game. Michael Irvin, I would believe, was out. I'm even going to give you the benefit of the doubt. You didn't have your three-headed monster that day. You had 2 of the 3.
Wow.
22-3. Saints beat up on the Cowboys that day.
1998. That was the end of the run there.
Right. 1993. Emmitt Smith. You want to know what his numbers were for the day, Webb?
That was a 93. 98.
98. You want to know what his numbers were that day?
He was on his way out at that point.
15 carries for 6 yards.
Wow.
15 carries for 6 yards. His long carry was 10 yards. That means on 14 other carries, he had -4 yards. That's how much this power.
3 Super Bowl rings on his fingers and MVP trophies on his back. It was hard to run.
I'm talking about games here, bro. That's what's going to be going on Sunday night.
Well,
I'm talking about game for game. That's the power. I'm talking about the power. It's unexplainable. It's like voodoo.
Yeah, okay. The Chicken Man going to be there running around with chicken legs and fucking
I don't believe the Chicken Man's still there, but they probably have some people walking around with chicken legs.
I'm sure.
It's like voodoo, dude.
You're gonna need that
thing on an ancient burial ground.
In the mouth,
dude. Saints are coming to roll.
The half of the fans that are Saints fans will be gone by 5 minutes left in the fourth. Everybody on the phone with the 1-800 lawyer, calling Goodell, calling Jerry Jones, calling Dino Blandino, the ref guy. Everybody. Fox.
Hey, Webb, what's the difference between a Dallas Cowboy fan and a carp? You know the difference of that?
A fish?
Yeah. One's a bottom-feeding scum sucker and the other's a fish. You got that right. Hey, Webb, if you have a car containing a Cowboys running back, a Cowboys linebacker, and a Cowboys defensive back, who's driving the car?
Oh, well, a policeman or something?
Yeah, the cop. Ha ha. Gotcha.
That's the first time I ever heard that
Gotcha.
one.
Why do Cowboys fans smell so bad, Webb? So blind people can hate them too.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. The biggest, most highly valued professional sports franchise in the world. Everybody hates them. Half the fans are going to be Cowboy fans in your house. They're going to go sit on your couch.
What's a Cowboys fan do?
Eric's probably picking the Cowboys.
Well, what's a Cowboys fan do when his team gets done winning the Super Bowl?
Win another one.
He turns off the PlayStation. That's what he does. All right, we're gonna move on, but we'll get to the Saints. We'll get to the Saints. Oh, I got lots more for you. It's gonna be going on all show. If you want to hear more stupid ass fucking Dallas Cowboys jokes, you got it.
You guys motherfuckers need to work in New Orleans. Too much time on your hands.
Moving on. But we'll get back to the Saints Cowboys. We're gonna have to make it's prime time, so we're gonna have to make a pick on it later. Going into our picks, Webb. Once again, man, we got to do better.
Well, that no doubt, undeniably. That can't run from it, can't hide. We got on. It's it makes you start going against us. That's all. Just go against us.
That's what Todd Lewis texted me today. He was laughing at the last show. He said, "Man, it was really funny," and he's also said he's making a killing going against the other team.
Hey. That's fine. And any press is good press, right?
Just keep watching. Just keep listening.
Hey, right,
Stay tuned.
Make sure you
Stay tuned. We got more losers for you if that's the way you want to go.
No doubt.
Everybody also stay tuned next week. Just so you know, UFC 243 is next weekend. We got Jeffrey Hoffman coming from MMA Tribune again. Also, the Major League Baseball playoffs start next week, and NBA starting real soon. We'll be getting into some of that next.
Dude, NHL too, man. We got to do some hockey.
NHL, got to do some hockey.
How about the hat tricks? Danbury hat tricks.
Danbury hat tricks. Herm Sorcher, his boys are getting rolling.
They're gonna be
Shout out to Herm Sorcher, freehold guy, owner, GM, Danbury hat trick. He sent me some swag last week, man. That's some cool looking shit. Especially Halloween, man. They got like orange and black colors. The badass.
Yeah, they're nice.
But I'll tell you, I mean, our picks have been sucking. So we talked about Sharon's pick last week. She went 1-0 with her big pick.
So far tonight, man.
What we got this week? We got tonight we got Green Bay and Navy.
Packers are up 7-0. I mean, it's way early, and it was 13-7 the other game. I guess they missed a kick.
So I was watching the Navy right before we came on, and Navy jumps out 7-0. But you know how Navy's drives are, like long, monotonous. They got to really work to get there. They kick the ball to Memphis, and the dude runs a 75-yard run for a touchdown. So you're like, oh shit, we're back to the draw.
Right.
But man, we could really start out with two big wins tonight. That would be great. We had Navy plus the 11 and Green Bay minus 4.5.
Yeah, actually that game went off at 4, so we got a break on that. If you bet it today, it was 4.
Well, that's what we got 4.5 earlier in the week. So we lost a half on that one, but we gained a half, I think, on the Navy. We got 11.
Okay. I bought Navy to 11, and then Green Bay this afternoon was minus 4.
So we got my boy Chad Arnold's on there. He's given Webb all kinds of shit about his sorry ass Dallas Cowboys, but we do have Sasha Metherell and Ray Stovall on our Facebook page. They're Dallas fans, so they've been sticking up for you a little bit.
There you go.
But also Chad actually started a petition. He started a petition to get Sharon to get a pick on here once a week. So we're talking about it yesterday. So Sharon's all excited now because she's like, oh, Chad wants me to make picks, but it makes me picks. And then she's looking for some reason. She's like, oh, what about that Pittsburgh-Cincinnati game? You Pitt Cincinnati. She doesn't realize the Pitt she picked was in college. Right, but now all of a sudden she heard about Pitt and Cincinnati. I'm like, well, that's a pretty tough game. They got two teams that haven't even won yet, so that's gonna be a tough game. But she's like, oh well, then maybe I'll wait till next week. And I remember her nail guy is a gambler, I guess, and she's been talking about that for years. And so we'll see. Sometimes she'll get a pick for him, but she doesn't go to get her nails done until tomorrow. So, but Chad, we're working on it. We're working on it. We're gonna figure out a way.
Well, she's gonna start listening to whatever satellite radio. She's gonna listen to Vincent in your car.
Yeah, I guess so.
Gonna start doing.
So we're gonna figure out a way to get her some picks on here. Like I say, tonight we went with the Eagles 2 weeks in a row. Tonight we went against the Eagles, so Ty Lewis and the Garjules, the Eagles better not screw. That's all I know.
I agree.
Right. I mean, as far as the picks go, I mean, we put out a message to everybody last week about a bet that me and Webb could have. And Chad Arnold mentioned that me and Webb could both wear the other team's cheerleader uniforms. That ain't happening. That is not happening. Yeah, go back to the drawing. Chad, go back to the drawing board. Go back to the drawing board.
Nice try.
We're not doing that.
Keep making up stupid jokes, Chad, and sending dumb memes to Smitt.
So, all right. Also, Brad Bohannon chimed in too. He said when we started this thing, he's like, man, it'd be really cool if you like videoed puppies making picks, like how they do, like you have the two helmets set up on both sides, and you have the puppies go here and the puppies go there, and he said, man, people love puppies. It would be great. You can video it, you can put it on YouTube, everything. And the way these picks, and I'm like, no, man, we're trying to do this. We're going to do it for real. We know the shit. We're going to get the picks.
Everyone loves lesbians.
Listen, everybody's on the table. Everything's on the table. Everything's on the table at this point because our picks suck. But we got to listen. Yeah. This is my pep talk right now, Webb. Just like it worked for the Saints last week. We got to get some winners.
All right, I'm down with that. I feel good. We're looking good tonight. We're going to kick it off tonight. Packers just kicked the field goal.
That's going to screw us because they're going to win by 3. He's going to get touchdowns. So I want touchdowns.
No negativity.
All right. So off the top of your head, Webb, what do you see? What do you like? What do you got? We'll start with college. We already mentioned we have Navy plus 11 tonight. We have Cal minus 4.5, and we have Penn State minus 6.5.
I gotta tell you, Smitt. I mean, couple of my favorite games, that Navy tonight, and then Cal tomorrow, are a couple of my favorite games. I don't really see too much on there. I got a couple that I like a little bit. The first one is Michigan. I think they're gonna unleash some demons on my Rutgers Scarlet Knights. I don't know how many, if any, Rutgers is going to score. I got Michigan minus 28. I think they're going to lay a 5. The number's going to start with a 5 for Michigan. It's funny they're talking about, you see that shit about Urban Meyer going to Michigan now?
I did not. Wow, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. Boy, talk about a rivalry. That Ohio State-Michigan would just blow up at that point.
I think he's probably already took the job for USC, to be honest with you. But that's just something funny to talk about. I would love to see him go to Michigan and see what goes on there. But I like Michigan minus 28. Who else? I looked at BYU a little bit. They seem like they're always playing someone tough, and they are, like we talked about them being a tough team. They're laying 2.5 at Toledo this week. It's an early game too, Saturday, noon Eastern start. Could buy that down to 2. Basically, just get out of there with a win. I think they should probably more than likely take care of business there. Who else? And then TCU is playing Kansas. I think it's time. If we don't pull this one in, I may have to start going on the Mad Hatter. But I like TCU minus 15 on the bye against Kansas this week. I think, again, that should be one that kind of gets out of hand, I'm hoping. And then I looked at Vandy at home, SEC school. At home against Northern Illinois, minus 6. We could buy the 6.5 down to 6. That's another early start, too. I kind of like those games, get out a little bit early. So I like Vandy, too. So those 4 games are the ones that caught my eye, really. Nothing else, not too much.
I actually, I don't have any problem with any of those games. I did like Michigan. Like you said, I think it's time. They got a lot of frustrations to delve out. But actually, believe it or not, I know I don't usually like to hop on a team after a big, huge win like they had last week. But I watched the Northwestern game, and they just looked dismal against Michigan State last week. And Michigan State beat them by 21. Wisconsin is favored by 24.5. I don't see how Northwestern can even score in this game without something disastrous going on. I wouldn't usually take Wisconsin after such a big game, but they have a definite. I think they play Kent next week, so there's no reason for them to look past this game after such a big game last week. Of course, even with a letdown, I don't see them not winning by 4 touchdowns easy in this game. Right. Is how I feel about this. So I really like Wisconsin. I was also looking at I hate to stay away I hate to deal with Notre Dame, but I've been liking Virginia this year, and I think they're a pretty solid team, and they're getting a significant amount of points in that game against it's at like 12.5 right now.
12.5, yep.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at Virginia plus the points in that one. Also another home dog I was looking at. Nebraska had real high hopes going into this year.
They did.
And they lost that game in Colorado in overtime early, and I feel like this week will be their Super Bowl. And Ohio State has been obviously flying high since the opening week. I think it's finally time that somebody gave them a little bit of a tough game, but I don't know what you think about that.
17 points. Yeah. I don't know about Nebraska. I think they're still. I mean, I'm rooting for Scott Frost. That quarterback for Notre Dame, Martinez maybe. It's supposed to be real good, but Ohio State is they're playing well. I don't know. They can. I don't see Ohio State getting out of there. Getting beat. 17 points, maybe right there. I mean, that's a home in conference. They're going to be up for that game. It's Saturday night. Obviously, Ohio State has bigger fish to fry than Nebraska here. I mean, Nebraska could sneak in a cover there. I wouldn't be too surprised with that one. The Notre Dame game scares the shit out of me just because, they win that game by 10 points or whatever, or 14 points or something. We'll get Notre Dame. That one, I have no lean. I got to stay away from that.
We'll stay away from that one. And one game I do really like is, believe it or not, I like Stanford. They go into Oregon State. Oregon State is not a good team.
They suck.
Stanford has had a hell of a schedule here early on.
That's true.
They've already played at USC. They've played at UCF, and then they just got done playing against Oregon. And I think this is finally their chance. They're only laying 4.5 points or so. I think this is finally the chance. Stanford at least gets back to respectability. Sometimes teams will lose little bit early, and you kind of forget about them, put them on the back burner. But I think this is a chance for Stanford to get right, and I kind of like them going into Oregon State laying a 4.5.
Yeah, that's easy enough. That's an easy bend my arm on that one. I agree with you. I like Costello. I think is the quarterback's name. Like you said, Oregon State sucks. So that right. This is kind of an easy one for them. They probably got this one marked as a win. They're going to give it their best shot at. They got
to get some wins. They're 1-3. Like I say, they've had some really really tough competition they've played so far. And
I think Corvallis. Right. How many people are going to be at that game? 15.
So sometimes that can be a tough place to play, but I don't see Stanford.
It's still early in the year. I mean, the weather should be fine.
They win. They got a couple other big games. Mississippi State goes to Auburn. Kansas State goes to Oklahoma State. But I don't have big feels about some of these. We got a good amount of plays. What about Florida State, Webb? That's another game that another team that you kind of give up on, but. Have they been kind of getting things back on track, you think, or no way?
I don't think so. I don't think so. No. Fuck them. They suck. He's going to get fired. They got to fire him. How can his team be? I mean, he admitted that his team is out of shape. How can Boise State come in there and they can't play in that the South Florida heat? Or
bunch of kids from Idaho. Right. They go down to Florida and they out in shape.
Stamina.
The FSU.
Stamina, legendary.
They live there. They grew up there.
Right. Yeah, 90% of the roster was born, in the state. Right. So no, I think they were laying 6.5, something like that. NC State, I'm not sure about them this year. I don't have a lean there. I mean, they could cover, but that's one we could move on. There's some other stuff Saturday night that we can go with.
Fair enough. We still got a good bit of games there. We got Vandy, TCU, BYU, Wisconsin, Michigan, Nebraska, and Stanford. Does that sound right?
Yep. So what is that?
So 7? That's 7. You add the 3 that we got from Thursday and Friday night. That gives us 10.
Sure. Yep. I like it.
All right, let's move on to the NFL. What do you see on there that you really love?
Love is a strong word, Smitt. Love is a strong word.
It's a tough week this week. And plus, I got to admit, we're a little gun shy. When you get your ass handed to you.
Hey, but we're shooters, man. We got to keep shooting.
No doubt about that.
Right.
No doubt about that.
I tell Devin just keep shooting.
Keep shooting.
The first one on top of the list here, I got Houston -4 at home against Carolina. I don't know. I mean, I do like that quarterback Kyle Allen. That's a good story. He went to A&M with Kyler Murray, and then he got bounced around, the same deal. But I think he is a pro quarterback actually. He's damn sure more accurate than Cam Newton, but I think they're just I don't know what. I think they're kind of their head spinning in Carolina, and I think Houston needs a win. They all seem to be in all these games. Deshaun Watson is awesome, but he's getting his head kicked in. He's going to be the next Andrew Luck. But I do think they can get there home. Their dome, I think, is going to be rocking. J.J. Watt should do something this week. So I like them. I like Houston -4.
I love the Texans. I'm all over it. Love the Texans this week. The young quarterback had a good game last week, but that was Arizona. Now they travel on the road again and go to Houston. It's going to be a whole different ball game for those guys.
I agree. And I don't know that he's going to play too bad. Them getting beat by 7, 10, 14, 17 points, it's not going to fall on him, I don't think. Another one I looked at, we got the Giants and the Redskins here. No Saquon Barkley. I thought the Redskins were going to have a decent defense. Obviously, they do not. But the Giants, aside from what's going on with this kid, I don't see them doing shit. They're laying 3 points. I just think the Redskins, you stack them next year. I think the Redskins are better. I take the Redskins +3. I looked at that. What else did I kind of got earmarked here? The Colts at home -7 against Oakland. Oakland's going to come out. Oakland, they do the same thing every week. Gruden scripts the first 15, 20 plays. They come out, they play well for those plays. And then when it turns into, you're playing in the schoolyard there, you're playing, go to the blue sedan and make a left, playing their football on the street, they get lost. So I like the Colts. I think, again, the Colts got this one there. This one, that's a home win. We're going to get going. I think Colts defense plays well. I like the Colts -7. And then the other one I like is the Rams at home. They've had a kind of a tough schedule too. Saints last week, they started the season on the East Coast in Carolina. It wasn't an easy game. They're still kind of a work in progress, the Rams. But I think the Bucs suck. I'm very disappointed in Jameis Winston. He's dumber than I initially gave him credit for.
You thought his stupidity would get him straight. But I forget what you said earlier in the season, but
his
it's not working.
Stupidity would get him through. Like, he was just too stupid to know what was going on. But obviously, he maybe I don't know if he's colorblind or what his fucking problem is. But I think the Rams put a hurting on them. They play well. I was impressed with the Rams defense actually, which kind of surprised me. Obviously, Aaron Donald's a man. But Eric Weddle, I've liked anytime he's been in the league. And then those corners are playing well, Talib and the other guy, Peters. Plus, Brockers is playing well, the other D lineman, LSU boy, Smitt. So I think the Rams take care of business. They're fairly easy to cover that 9.
Yep, I'm in. I like the Rams. So just for, Jameis Winston, he's the kind of guy, he can keep it close. He might keep it 3. Field goal. But then he's going to give you the pick 6. You know what I mean? He's going to do whatever it takes to give you – you're going to get – you spot you a touchdown. Right off the bat, you know what I mean?
Right. So they're really only laying 2. So you got to win by 2.
Right.
Well, my boy, quote unquote, is going into Baltimore this week. What do you think about that one? -7. Ravens are -7. What are your thoughts on that fiasco?
I kind of like taking points in that game. It's a division game, the AFC North. I think the Browns, even though they lost last week, I think they're getting better. I think these guys are going to – it takes a little while to mesh and learn how to play. Baltimore, they're obviously a solid football team, really tough. But I wouldn't mind taking almost a touchdown in this one, to be honest, if we were forced to make a play on this one.
Yeah, I just was thinking, I don't know. 7 points pretty big. The Browns, this has got to be a huge game. If they go in there and get smoked, the wheels are going to come off.
You can't go to 1-3. You can't go to 1-3. You can't go to 1-3.
Baltimore be 4-0, right? You can't do that. And then, just the wheels are going to come off. Baker Mayfield is still obviously trying to figure it out. He goes on he's commenting to the stupid shit Rex Ryan said. Rex Ryan's got a fucking tattoo of Mark Sanchez on it. Like, how can you even listen to the guy? He's a clown. He was walking around with makeup on. And then the other guy, Freddie Kitchens, how's the head coach going to show up to the press conference chewing gum and shit? So I don't know. I'm doing something wrong here. But again, if they don't play well here, they're done. So the wheels are going to come off. So this for them, they're going to get their best effort. I think they do keep it close. If you had to bet it, I would take the 7 there.
Cool, I like that. All right, so far we got the Skins, the Browns, the Colts, and the Texans, and the Rams,
Rams, yeah. That's not that's not my number with that 8 pick, that Browns pick. I'm not sure, but those other ones I had kind of earmarked there. What do you think about?
There's a game out there to like with some teams taking points. You might laugh at me, and we'll see how it goes. But San Diego on any time, they have a hard time traveling to the East Coast. They always have a hard time.
Yeah,
I watched a lot of that. I watched a lot of that Dallas and Miami game last week, and to be honest with you, Miami didn't look that bad to me. Maybe they came to play because it was Dallas. Maybe they were extra hyped up. Rosen got a little bit of time as a start, but to me, they look like a team that's. They're not as dismal as I thought they were. It was the first time I really saw them with my own eyes, but I didn't feel like they were as dismal as what I thought. And look, it's one thing to take Dallas, where New England laying 17 points or 16 points or whatever. I think this is 15 and a half.
15 and a half, yep.
But it's another thing to take San Diego, going all the way to the East Coast and laying 15 and a half. That's my personal opinion about it.
I think last week Rosen gave him a little jolt there. I think they are getting a couple guys back on defense. I read this week. I wouldn't be surprised if they cover, but the Cowboys beat them by 28 or 25, and that was
really only second half they beat them by 25.
The Dolphins. But here's the thing: like Miami was going in the second half, but then they fumbled on like the fourth.
Right. That missed a field goal. They missed a field goal. They fumbled on a goal line.
So if they're they're down 21 or something and they're going in, there's going to be a mistake there. But that's if I had to bet that game, this is the first one of that 4 weeks that I would take Miami.
Right.
You know,
I just feel like, look, they might go 0-16.
Oh, I would.
But they're not going to go 0-16 against this ATS. They're not going to go against the spread 0-16. You know, they haven't covered yet. I feel like this might be the spot for them.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree there.
San Diego lays an egg every week, if you ask me. 1-2. San Diego's 1-2. What are they done?
Nothing, and they're hurt. They're way banged up, man, like we said. So that wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't mind that one either.
We'll go out on a limb, and that's we can go talk about suicide a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I know San Diego. This is a lot of teams, a lot of people's suicide pick. I know it's a lot of good strategy to go with, take the crappy team and always pick against them. But I can tell you, just for those reasons I mentioned a little while ago, look, I'm not saying the Dolphins are going to win this game. I'm just saying this is what I'm afraid of. I think I'm going with the Rams in my suicide pool this week. They're laying 9-10 points to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's going all the way out to the West Coast, coming off a tough loss to the Giants last week, and so I'm taking the Rams. I don't see them losing that game. But I could see San Diego go to Miami. In fact, I've seen it a whole lot of times in my life where a pretty good San Diego team has gone to the East Coast and lost to a pretty crappy team. I've seen it a lot. I'm not saying they're going to lose. I'm just saying for the sake of the suicide pool, this is one I'm going to stay away from with the Dolphins.
I get what you're saying. I mean, I have the 2 picks in the suicide. So my first one is done. The Rams. I totally agree. They're going to smoke the Bucks. That's the path of least resistance. Even though we're talking about the Dolphins and the Chargers. I agree with a lot of that stuff. It's not even the Chargers. The Dolphins are going to find a way to to fuck up. I don't think they're going to win. You may it may be a hell of a lot closer. You may be sweating there for a while, but I think you're okay taking the Dolphins. But this may be a week to punt on them. The other one I was thinking about taking is KC is in Detroit. Detroit is 2-0-1, and I really can't tell you how. I don't know. And Patrick Mahomes is playing. The dude is on another planet, so I don't. They're laying 6.5. I don't see them losing. They might not win this game by 21 or something like that. But I think this is the one where the Lions, their shittiness kind of shows up, and they'll be happy after the 4 games that they played their schedule to be 2-1-1. If you're a Detroit Lion fan, you're on cloud 9. You're 2-1-1 after playing at the Eagles and the Chiefs on your schedule, and you got 2 wins and only 1 loss. So
and actually, speaking of that, that's one of the games I'd like to add to our list. I think KC wins by 7 pretty easily in this one. I don't know if you feel that way or not, but
they're going to win the game. That's right. I mean, you can buy that 6.5 to 6. Yeah, that's an easy one too. I wouldn't. I got no problem with that one. There's a couple other good games. I don't know if I have too much of a feeling on them. The Vikings are at the Bears. Bears are laying 2. Trubisky did some shit last week, and then the Vikings suck. Seems like they suck on the road, so I don't know. I don't have too much of a feeling there. If gun to my head, I would take the Bears minus the 2. The total's 38, man. That is way low. 2 good defenses, I guess. I would just stay away from that game if we had to. And the other interesting game, Smitt, the Pats are going into Buffalo. Brady's got a calf, I think. They brought in Cody Kessler to take some snaps in practice. Buffalo, I think, has the number 1 defense. Is that right?
Could be. I've liked Buffalo this year, but of course they let us down last week against Cincinnati. But they're catching a touch at home.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready that much. I mean, if someone forced me, I would make a little play and take some points, but I wouldn't. I don't like this.
Just hope they keep it close. No, I don't know. I mean, they are banged up. I think they're on their 3rd left tackle, but that shit with the Pats doesn't even matter.
Pats, but I think a bigger thing. I think is Edelman out.
I don't know if I think he's playing, but he's been banged up too. So I mean, they're gonna that division is. Oh well, I guess Buffalo's 3-0 too. So I guess if Buffalo does somehow steal a win here, that would make the division, I guess, at least kind of interesting. I don't see the Pats going to win. They ain't losing more than 4 games, I don't think. So I don't know that this shit they really blip on their radar if they lost this. That's the only reason why maybe Buffalo may be worth a little play, maybe.
All right, well, I don't think that's one we want to use in this.
No.
What about you see any totals? I was kind of looking at that Giants game. To me, both of these defenses are really bad. Saquon Barkley is not playing for the Giants, so they're going to give Daniel Jones a chance to throw the ball all over the yard, and that could be good or bad. I mean, it could be good for points either way. Either he's going to throw a bunch of turnovers and get some easy points for the Skins, or he's going to make some plays and score some points. The total in that one looks like it's sitting at 49.
49.5.
I could easily see this game being in the 30s. Both teams, if you look at their schedule so far this year, I mean, most of their games have been in the 50 range, looks like.
The Giants could have the worst defense in the league. And the Redskins, I thought they were going to be good. I thought it was going to be one of their guys, Alabama, Jonathan Allen, I think has been out, defensive lineman. He's a stud. I don't think he's playing this week either. Josh Norman's getting toasted left and right. So you the thing though that makes me worry, no Saquon and no what's his name, Sterling Shepard, I think went on the IR today. So I don't know. I mean, you could certainly convince me, but it'll be close, I think.
All right. Well, I'm talking about the over. So
I got you.
All right.
Let's do it.
Okay. Over Giants. Well, we're getting plenty of games now.
Right. The more we talk,
talk ourselves. We can talk ourselves into betting any day. No doubt. We've been doing that for years. Right. What about this one? Okay.
Yeah,
what about this one? Okay.
I like this one. You like that one. Done.
Okay. Do both. Take them both. Jaguars and our boy Dirk Diggler, Minshew goes into the Broncos. I got to feel like the Broncos are going to win someday, but until they do, I'm a little afraid to take them laying points even though they're at home.
Yeah, I would punt on this one. Denver's laying 3. I mean, they're not – are they 0-3 to Broncos? I mean, they're going to win a couple. This is probably one that Jacksonville would lose. But I don't know. I don't see them as doing – I mean, I don't know what's going on with Chubb and Von Miller.
Neither has a sack so far.
Neither
of them has a sack this year. And this guy, their coach is the defensive coordinator guy. Head coach, defensive coordinator for the Bears.
Fangio, yep. But I do like, I love Dirk Diggler. That's our new man right there.
He's our guy.
So I would love to see him go up there and just throw the ball over the yard and get that done. But I think the Broncos. I mean, if they don't win this one,
right. What are they going to win? They're at home.
What are they going to win?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
By 3 points.
Yeah, I wouldn't actually. The more I look at this, the more I think the Broncos might be a good play.
Yeah, I might have to agree with you there.
Yeah,
soccer.
We're tough.
Right.
We're so finicky with this shit.
Right.
Okay, that brings us to Sunday night. Okay,
Sunday night. Well,
Saints are 8-2 against the spread as a home dog in their last 10. Just putting that out there.
What is it?
8-2 against the spread as a home dog in their last 10. Just putting it out there.
What do they shouldn't be a home dog if they're that good. Why are they a home dog? So that's the first thing that it tells you. But the line is only 2.5. Cowboys are banged up, although I'm not going to compare injuries. The starting receivers out, defensive linemen, and a guys in the secondary. So I mean, all kidding aside, this is going to be close. I think the Saints kind of are backs against the wall here. They're at home. That big win notwithstanding last week, I think it's going to be close. The line scares me. I thought it would be a little bit higher, but I'm not picking the fucking Saints. Fuck them. Cowboys going to win this one easy.
Well, we're not taking the Cowboys. Just straight up. We're not taking a road team. We're not taking a roadie going into the dome.
Just another winner. Just another winner we're leaving on the table.
Me and you are going to have to come up with something on this.
All right.
What about Monday night?
It's another tough one. 3.5. I was rooting for Mason Rudolph. I just don't. I mean, I don't know either. Joe Mixon's not doing shit for the Bengals neither. I don't know which. There's no playmakers here. The total's 44. I don't see how they're going to. I mean, I would go under. That's the first thing I see is under 44. They're both not going to score 21, I don't think. 3.5. I would just take the Steelers based off of home team, buy it to 3. Just after Bengals being the Bungles, basically.
They'll figure out a way to lose, I think.
And the under.
So that's fine. We can do that. Steelers and under, which brings us back to we'll just have to figure this out. What's a bet we can make with each other over this fucking game?
You tell me, man. I'm sure you got something.
Well, I got something I'd like to see you do, but
yeah.
But I'm not sure what I would have to do to.
Right. All right. Well, if you have to ask.
What I'm saying is, I would like for you to be on Facebook so you can answer Chad Arnold and all the boys on your own. You got to get on Facebook, and then I don't have to give you a screenshot and then give him a screenshot and do shit like that. That's what I would. If we were gonna lay a wager, that's what I would be. I don't know what you're gonna make me do.
All right. Let me figure out. Let me get an answer to that, and we'll figure something out.
Talk to Devin. Think of something fun.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
All right, so we're gonna lay off on a Saints Cowboys pick for right now, but we're on record. I like the home dog. Weber likes the sorry dogs. That's the fucking. We're on record right now.
Lucky dogs. Go eat some lucky dogs on Bourbon Street, Smith. You're gonna have to. I'm gonna make you eat like 5 lucky dogs after the Cowboys smoke them. That's gonna be your thing.
If they smoke them, I don't know if I'll puke from the lucky dogs or I'll puke from getting smoked.
Before you even get to a lucky dog, I'm sure.
All right. Sure. So just a quick reminder. Next week we'll be talking about UFC 243. And we'll be talking a little bit about the Major League Baseball playoffs, NBA, NHL. We're going to start adding that stuff into the mix. We'll get into our picks and all that kind of stuff. We'll probably try and do 2 shows again next week, and then the week after that, I'm heading to Clemson for Florida State.
Yeah.
So I might not be able to do 2 shows that week, but we'll work it out.
It's going to be 45-point spread in that game right there.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that Clemson was going to be the better team at that point, but we didn't know just how bad Florida State was going to be going in. But it's still going to be a fun time.
Hell yeah.
So I want to thank John Grove for the bumper music. iHeartRadio, YouTube, Google Play Music, Podbean, Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio. Also, don't forget you can check our picks out on SportsWatchMonitor.com. Webb, what's Devin say about YouTube?
YouTube, you got to subscribe first of all. Definitely subscribe. And then she says you have to click your thumbs up to like us. And then lastly, to get your notifications, you got to click, hit the little bell there. So every time we post, you'll get a little ding on your computer, your phone, whatever. That's Devin Weber.
Dig it. Just to recap, too. We had Green Bay tonight. We got the Skins. We got the Browns. We got the Rams. We got the Colts. We got KC. We got the Dolphins. We got the Texans. We got the Steelers and the under. We got over in the Giants. And we got the Broncos. That's a lot of picks, Webb.
That's a lot.
But we need winners. We need winners. Because after this, we're going to need Sharon to come in here. We're going to need some puppies. One of the two. I don't have any puppies.
Chickens pecking at it.
I don't have any puppies, and I don't want to hear of Sharon taking picks every week either. So, Chad Arnold, we're going to work on it and see what happens. We'll figure something out. We
got Navy up here, 20-14.
They're about to kick a field goal, too, and Green Bay's up 13-7, I believe.
13-7, so that was going to get close. That's going to. Oh, and if we pick, Green Bay sucks in the second half, too, if there's anybody catch
I don't think they scored at all in the second half.
No, I don't think. Right. So that's something I'm gonna look at after this.
And of course, our Navy guy just missed a field goal, but we're still getting 11, and that was the last play before the half, and they're up 6, so we're up 17 points in the second half. And Navy, they're going to take the air.
They're
going
to slow that guy. That's right. That's going to be 4 possessions in the second half.
All right. So real quick, we got BYU, TCU, Vandy, Wisconsin, Michigan, Nebraska, Stanford, Green Bay. Skins, Browns, Colts, Rams, KC, over Giants, Broncos, Steelers, under, I said Saints because I have it circled, but we'll talk about that later. Texans, Dolphins, Colts. I think that's it. Webb, what you got to say?
We that, Smitt. We that. You
motherfucker, I hate that. But at least you're doing it right. When the Saints fans say it, doesn't make any sense.
You got
me. You've been saving that one up. I know.
Oh, yeah.
All right, brother. Well, thank you very much, everybody. We appreciate it. Look, tell some friends. We got a lot of good feedback. People are liking it. They think it's fun. They think it's good, even though our picks suck, and they still like it anyway. So please, tell some friends, man. Tell friends. That's all it's going to take is the people that are listening now to get a few friends listening.
Oh, thanks, everybody. All right, Smith.
Later, buddy. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.